I remember coming home from school one day and I was in my school uniform, and down around the pool were all the big wigs of the West Australian tackle trade, and Dad was launching the first laser, and they were all having lunch and casting in the pool. It was a big day for Halco when that range came, and probably had no idea what it had developed into. Back in the early 80s, Dad and the team at Halco decided they really needed a lure to tackle the mackerel and tuna market Australia-wide, and then hopefully open up to the rest of the world. And remember, before that we were trolling barra spoons and Kimberleys, and some people had some bib minnows, and so it was just a market that was decided to enter, and that was how it was born. We don't count how many lures we make, we've lost count, but this would be in the millions, I'm sure, this lure. It's sold all over the world. We sell to about 80 plus countries, and I think nearly every single country would take Laser Pros. Why fishermen like this lure is it's tough and it works. Chuck it back out and catch another one, chuck it back out, catch another one. It's tough as nails, fantastic. Speaking of a tough lure, if you could find another bibbed minnow in the world that's caught a grander, I'd be very surprised. This one's been documented by professional fishermen in the Pacific, catching a fish well over 1,000 pounds, a blue. It's an extraordinary capture, and it's a testament to a lure, its strength and its ability to catch. To me, and I think it'd be hard to argue, this is probably one of the best bib lures ever made for blue water applications. But one thing is the only constant is change. This has always changed. The shape's changed a bit, the bibs have changed a lot. We've done structural changes to them. There's continual change. What's the next thing? Well, that leaves us one way to go, and that's to make a bigger one. Bigger, better, faster, deeper. And that's where the Laser Pro 210 was born. It's going to be a ripper for the Laser Pro brand. This lure has actually made me pretty nervous. The Laser Pro and the 190 and the 160, they're legendary, they're famous around the world. And I feel like I've got a legacy. I've got to keep up with this lure. So it's got to be absolutely perfect. I suppose the two things that make a lure like this difficult is getting the body right and getting the bib right, and the combination or the relationship between both of them. And this one has been a tricky one. And what's thrown it in is to get a 30-foot lure that is body towed. There's not many of them around. It's something we've set out to achieve. We've done it. So this one, I'm just going to do a speed check. I've got a slight change to the bib here. It wasn't quite doing what it should, but this one, I'm hoping is going to be the one. And you got to remember, when you get into manufacturing, things change very slightly when you're making thousands of them. So you can't have something right on the edge. It's going to be right in that sweet spot where if something's fraction out, it still swims right. So what makes it hard is when you go deep, you're starting to push the lure to the edge of its extreme, to absolutely about as far as it can go, where you've still got a stable lure. So you've got to remember, with a fishing lure, you're designing something with inbuilt instability. We want it unstable, so it wobbles, but we want it stable enough that it tracks exactly straight and it goes fast, and fish want to bite it. So I'm doing 6 knots now, which is like a pretty average trolling speed for one of these, but I'll push it up because I want to see, this gives me an idea of how stable the lure is and whether it's tracking straight. 12. He's sitting in well. 13, should be about to come out. For a 30-foot lure, you can't ask more than that. You start with big changes on bibs, and they are quite big. Some don't swim, some are disastrous, some are good, and from 25 years of experience, you just put everything you know into it. The starting ones, they're all big changes. By the end, I don't think the human eye can actually pick the differences between some of the last ones. It's so fine and it's so intricate, but it's those little things that make the difference. It's 34 degrees, it's the first day of summer, it's a bloody ripper day. But not only that, just going now to the die makers to look at the first addition or modification to the bib. And I'm pretty excited about this. I reckon it's going to make it into an absolute ripper. We're at our die makers and just got the second lot of bibs out. Now I've done this minute change. It's 0.75 of a mil, but this, I know this difference makes it swim about 6 knots speed difference. And these tiny little things, I've got another one to do, are the little things, and it's the difference that makes the difference. Yeah, that looks really good. You'd be amazed what that small change difference it makes.
You push it down further?
It's incredible. No, it just gives it some stability it needed. I could see there's something moving in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm confident that'll fix it. That's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. That's a very good question. When is a lure finished? I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and so you can just keep going and going with minor changes. But getting to that point and having the courage that it goes, that I go, this is finished and this is ready to go, and anglers will be happy with this, and it stands up to the Halco reputation, is bloody hard. I think when I've been up to our factory, I've made our final lures, I've brought them back here and then gone and tested a heap of them, caught a heap of fish, then it's finished. This is the real test for the Laser Pro 210. After 3 years of work on this lure on and off, it's taken a hell of a lot of work. You've seen some of it. This is the day that we get to test it on to big wahoo. This is one of my favourite bits of ground out here. I've fished it for about 15 years and can turn on to great wahoo fishing, and that's the sort of thing this lure is designed for. It's got 9.0 BKK signals. It'll swim to 30 foot, perfectly tuned. It'll do 14 knots, but sits really nicely at 6. Absolute ripper of a lure. It's going to be an exciting day. I'm looking forward to it. We're on the drop off. Get ready. This is the first proper fish on the Laser Pro 210. Sophie's having trouble holding up. It's an absolute ripper. This is what we came here for this very fish on this very lure. This is just like the perfect day for me. Run. Well done. Good work. You know, after a couple of years working on this lure and going, I know this is going to be a good wahoo lure, the reality is they're words, they're not actions. And here we've seen today is the actions. And we've had, 5 wahoo in the last hour, just smashing these lures. That's the real results you want. Whoa! And they're off. I think I know what this is. Well, this is my first wahoo on this lure. There's been about 4 caught today. Can't speak highly enough of this lure. This is a very happy day for me. This is bloody unreal. What a day. What a fish, what a lure. I'm a happy man. The last couple of days has been the culmination of the Laser Pro 210 dream. It went from conception to prototyping to manufacturing to messing around with it and adjusting it till we got to the final product. But you know, actions always speak louder than words with these things, which means it's got to catch fish and it's got to be tough and it's got to be durable. This one's caught at least 5 wahoo, maybe more. I know some big yellowfin. We've wrestled it out of the teeth of sharks. It's tough as nails, works beautifully, swims deep, absolute ripper. Combination, a lot of work. I'm very happy.